Do you have any thoughts? So we were talking about the FOMC today, obviously the 25-point rate cut. Most importantly, though, again, because everybody knew that was coming, is Powell's comments, which everybody is always looking out for. You mentioned to me earlier, and one of the most bullish things that people are pointing out is he, explicitly says that quantitative tightening of all kinds will be ended by December 1st.
Yeah.
So that is something people were already kind of banking on as well, that was coming to an end. And he officially says by the 1st of December. And then on the bearish side, people are taking it, which I think they're mistaken to do so. He says that there is definitely no guarantee of a rate cut in December. He specifically said that it's not a foregone conclusion, far from it, that there's a rate cut in December. So this, after, many people are expecting a rate cut in December, a rate cut in January. I think the end of January is the next meeting. So a lot of people are expecting this. Powell kind of throws cold water on this. But this is what he typically does. Like, he does the conservative,
Sure.
I don't mean conservative politically, but conservative, not being aggressive about moving at all. He does these kind of things, like kind of the dad speak at every single one of these meetings. He's not going to come out and say like, yeah, we'll be cutting rates next time as well. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost 2 months from now. It would be foolish to say anything one way or the other. And my money is still on them cutting again there too. But of course, many people are freaked out by it and stuff like that. But what do you make of those comments?
Well, yeah, the biggest thing is that the balance sheet reduction ending on December 1st. That means basically the program that reduces the Fed's holdings of the U.S. Treasury and mortgage-backed securities will be ending. They were or had been reducing the holding, which means now they're going to start buying more, which means in order to purchase more of that, they need better rates to borrow. So that always triggers things. Maybe we could see a nice little run starting at December when money is easier again to borrow, and the money printers are going burr like we've seen before. So I think that was the most bullish thing. You're totally right, though. He always talks. He covers both bases, right? He's always very in the middle when he speaks about all of this stuff. So I think that was the most bullish thing, though, was the balance sheet reduction ending on December 1st.
Yeah, I think so too. And again, I still expect there to be a rate cut in December. And yeah, Nathan, Julian, too many people believe in a 4-year cycle market to do the opposite. And that's another thing, and this is like, what is the definition of a 4-year cycle? And I always see Bob Lucas talking about it because he's a huge proponent of it. And it's the lows between the bear market lows, basically. So even he himself, I saw on Twitter the other day, Bob Lucas was saying, yeah, we by all means could have a top in like May of 2026 and still be in a 4-year cycle. So
Sure.
This is what we've been talking about, where people that are saying extended super cycle versus regular 4-year cycle can all have their cake, eat it too, smear it all over their naked bodies, whatever they want to do, because nobody's defining what they're talking about. And I don't think anyone who is saying super cycle or extended cycle has any goddamn idea what they're talking about. Like, I think they just mean 2026
sure,
to some degree. You know what
right.
I mean?
And here's the thing you have to think about too. So many people have, every cycle there's been more people here for more cycles. They've seen this stuff. They're planning for it. They think it's going to still be clockwork. Like this is going to happen. Like I did at first, right? I'm guilty of it myself. So I'm not excluding myself when I speak this way. But when more people start planning for this to happen, it's not going to happen that way. You can almost guarantee it. And I've come to that, realization that, just because I thought it would be just like the others, because that's how it's been working the last 3 cycles, then, it's more than likely to not happen that way. You have to get people wrecked. You have to wash people out each time. Doesn't matter how it happens. And, obviously this time, I think the lengthening of the cycle is going to do just that. There are going to be people frustrated that, man, December rolls around, it's not gone up yet. I'm getting out. I'm getting out before something really bad happens. And then you see a lot of people sell or whatever because it's just doing nothing. And then all of a sudden it takes off. So again, I think that's kind of part of this too, is the mentality of people that have been here more cycles starting to plan for this and think it's going to be just like clockwork, and it's not.
Yeah, Hex Girl too. Is it possible you need to throw the 4-year cycle out now with the government so involved in crypto? It's not the same anymore. I mean, she's brought that up before, and yeah, I mean, we've talked about the institutions being here more than they've ever been. Probably more manipulation and big money sloshing and moving things around. Sure. Bitcoin has moved less aggressively this cycle. Now, that may be just because of the maturity of the asset, but also because that kind of money is in there and they're more accustomed to this stair-stepping, slow, stock market type of movement rather than the violent hellscape that we're a part of. But I think that's a great point too.
Yep. We also know there's a lot of manipulation that still happens. So what they do is they buy OTC buys, they buy large amounts, and then as the price goes up, they can dump a little bit, and control where it's at, what it's doing, until they've kind of made. It doesn't have to be a lot, but they make decent profit on the OTC buys, and then they're doing the market sells to kind of contain the price, and then they just rinse and repeat. They keep doing that over and over. It's a great way to build up financial gains for them while not looking like it's really manipulating the market, but it is. So, right. Again, the bigger institutions know how to play these games and really mess with people's heads. And then when it really takes off, then you got to look out.
Yeah. What do you think of this? Pulse Beats, good stuff here. Tom Lee bought another shit ton of Ethereum I saw earlier, which this guy's going to be the MVP of this bull market. This is what I am predicting right now. He's the most contrarian guy out there. He's on all these like legacy media finance shows and stuff like that, like talking up AI stocks and Ethereum and all this stuff. And yeah, he's been calling for Ethereum to hit 15,000 by December. So what do you make of that call out, Ewok? But I will say either way, I love the guy. I'm glad he's out there.
We need more guys like him.
Exactly. Yeah, with some cojones. But what do you make of this?
Well, by December, it's possible. We have, when in December is another question. We still have, like you said, 60 days left in the year. Essentially 63 days left in the year. So there is time. It doesn't take long for crazy things to happen, but at this point, that's reaching, I think. Now, could we do it? Sure. It's got to happen. Start tomorrow. To get to that kind of level, you're talking this week, next week. It's got to really get started, and the heat has to be turned up. But someone's going to do it eventually. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I would be happy with 12K, and even if it were March of 2026, honestly. So if he's right about that, obviously, I think we will all be very happy with that. So
yeah, let's get to 6,000 or 7,000 first. Let's hold the all-time high more than a couple hours.
Yeah,
that's where we got to start. I mean, that once that happens, I think you start to see some other things kind of taking shape, and you get to an all-time high and you hold it for an extended period of time, a couple days, then people will look at it a little bit more seriously. Right now, there's just manipulation.
I'm with you. If we start to see Ethereum above 5K for a few days, close above 5K for a couple of weeks, I think that's whenever we're off to the races probably. So, awesome convo. 12K ETH puts the not that you can see the whole fund anymore, but the Pulse Chain sacrifice funds, which are all over the place these days, I would put it at $2 billion. That's from Fast Abdul. So good stuff.
I think they got caught in a tornado somewhere.
Yeah. Dorothy, not in Kansas anymore. So we're going to transition into the Pulse Chain stuff. But if you guys are here and enjoying the stream so far, do us a favor. go ahead and lightly tap the like button. We appreciate all of you being here. Subscribe to the channel as well. I never say that. And there's a little, I guess they light up the subscribe button on YouTube if you do that now. So subscribe. There you go.